Good afternoon, students. Uh, Today, as you can know, this is the first live session of climate change and vulnerability. We're here to discuss the introductory part of climate change and related concepts. Basically, climate change refers to a long-term shifts in temperature, precipitation patterns, sea levels, and other atmospheric conditions on the Earth. These changes are primarily driven by human activities such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial process. While increasing GHGs, greenhouse gases, in the atmosphere, the consequences of climate change, including the increase in global temperatures, extreme weather events, loss of biodiversity, and disruptions to ecosystems and human activities. Now, as we can discuss what is vulnerability to climate change, vulnerability to climate change refers to the degree to which individuals, communities, or ecosystems are at risk, unable to cope up with the adverse effect of climate change. It's influenced by the many key factors like exposure, sensitivity, adaptive capacity.
Hello students, I'm Manala, Climate Change and Vulnerability Assessment. So first of all, I want to tell you are the effects of climate change. Climate change has widespread and far-reaching effects on the environment, economies, and human societies. So these can be categorized in the following ways, like environmental effects, and under environmental effects, we can consider the rising global temperature, melting of ice and rising sea level, extreme weather events, ocean acidification, loss of biodiversity. So all these are the effects of climate change. Basically, we all know that climate is not only affecting the environment, but also the social and economic effects. Food and water scarcity, health risks, displacement and migration, economic losses. So these are the social and economic effects which are being, it's occurring too much because climate is continuously changing and it's having an adverse effect on the human health as well. And a layman can think that it's affecting only the environment, but not only the environment, it's affecting the social destruction is the most important effect of the climate change. And it's also affecting the ecosystems, like ecosystem balance is getting altered, like temperature, weather condition. So these all are getting changed. Also coral reef destruction is taking place because of it, warm ocean temperature, acidification. These all are happening because of climate change. Forest decline, yeah. These days, the percentage of forests are reducing means consistently. So what's the reason? There are social reasons as well, but climate is also one of the reason, like frequent wildfire, droughts, pest outbreaks, that is threatening the forest a lot. All right, so these are the effects of climate change. Any other questions? If you have, you can raise it and we all will answer it. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Uh,
afternoon.
could you please define the mechanism behind the global warming and greenhouse effect?
Yes. Basically, the mechanism of global warming is long-term increase in Earth's average surface temperature due to human activities, primarily the release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This process is driven by greenhouse effect, which traps heat in the atmosphere. Uh, there are like steps in the mechanism of global warming. Like step one is the solar radiation. When it reaches the Earth in the form of solar radiation, some of this energy is reflected back into space by clouds, ice, and the Earth's surface. The rest is absorbed by the land and oceans, and it causes the warming of the planet Earth. Heat emission is the second step, as we can say. The Earth's surface radiates heat in infrared radiation back towards the space. Some of this heat escapes into the space, but a significant portion is trapped by the greenhouse gases, which are already present in the atmosphere, which makes the atmosphere and the Earth's surface warmer. Greenhouse effect, as we can say, like greenhouse gases, as we know, is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and water vapor absorb and sometimes re-radiate heat back to the Earth's surface. This process keeps the planet warm enough to sustain life. However, human activities have intensified this effect, as we can see that CO2 levels are increasing, burning of fossil fuels are increasing, deforestation is increasing, industrial and agriculture activities are at its prime. So all these effects are increasing the concentration of CO2 gases, which in turn causes the global warming. Thank you. Any other question?
Hello.
Yes, you can tell me your question.
Okay, ma'am, could you please explain the indicators of climate change?
All right. So as we all know, there are a lot of indicators of climate change. Like the first one is the rising global temperature. We all are experiencing it in our daily lives as well. Yeah, sometimes you feel that the temperature means like these days in summer, you must have experienced that the temperature is extremely, high as compared to the previous years. So this is the rising temperature, overall rising of temperature at all the places, which is happening just because of the climate change. And also, the Earth's average temperature has increased by about 1.1 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century. And the second is the melting ice and rising sea levels. You can consider glaciers and polar ice caps in Greenland, Antarctica. They all are melting. Yeah, and it is just an alarming situation for the whole Earth. Arctic sea ice is shrinking. Sea level has risen about 20 centimeter. So it's very high. So this is causing coastal erosion and flooding in low-lying areas. So these are the main indicators. Also, we can consider the extreme weather events, increase frequency of hurricanes. In news, we almost every day used to read that hurricanes are occurring here and there, cyclones are coming, typhoons are coming. So why these all are happening? Because of warmer ocean temperature, and this is the ultimate result of climate change. Heavy rainfall and floods in some regions. Some regions we always hear that there is severe drought conditions are taking place. Wildlife fires, like recently it happened in California. Yeah. So wildlife forest has occurred, and the whole region, it has swept away the whole region of California. So this is the indicators of climate change only. And it's it's the global concern right now. Also, the ocean acidification is taking place, increased carbon dioxide absorption by oceans, coral bleaching is taking place. Then it's also impacting the agriculture and food security, like the crop yields are getting reduced because of extreme droughts and irregular rainfall only. And the main thing, which is the human health effect, that is rising temperature. Rising temperature is contributing to heat related illness and deaths. Also, the vector borne diseases are taking place because of this. So these all are the indirect changes or indirect indicators of climate change. So by all these things, we can know that climate change is taking place at an alarming rate, and it is a death threat for all of us. Thank you. I hope you have understood. Any other question?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
You have said there is a climate change in the present century, but we have experienced climate change and global warming in the geological past. So why it is so important to study climate change in the present century? Because it is the natural phenomena. There should be global warming and climate change. Could you please explain why it is happening
Yes,
now?
it's a natural phenomena, but it should occur in a limit. Earlier, in the past centuries, it was not occurring at the same rate, which is that is occurring at this point of time. At this point of time, it is occurring at an alarming rate. But in the past centuries, climate change was there. You are right, but it's not like that. The temperature is increasing to 1.1 degrees Celsius. It's not like that in 19th century. But right now, you must know that it's rising at an alarming rate. Everything, climate change is taking place from the centuries, but right now it's changing in an abundant manner, like in negative sense more.
Is there any query?
Also, we can see that glacier melting is not at the same rate like the past, right? And the wildfires are also occurring, frequently these days. But in earlier centuries, of course, wildfires were there, but not this much. All right. I hope your query has been resolved.
Hello, am I audible? Okay.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay, so as we have been hearing that everything has its pros and cons. So is there any positive effects or positive advantage of climate change?
Your voice is not clear.
Please write your question. Please write your question
I
in
mean,
chat
okay, okay.
because your voice is not clearly audible.
So you are talking about positive effects of climate change. There also, we know for everything there are some pros and cons. So if we see the positive effects of climate change, we can enumerate it. For example, due to the climate change, there are longer growing seasons in various regions, particularly in warm temperatures may extend to the growing season of for the crops in colder regions like Canada, Russia, parts of Europe. They may benefit from this change of temperature and global warming. Most of the tropical crops can be also seen to be cultivated in the temperate region also, which could lead to the higher agricultural yield in various areas where cold temperatures are previously limited for the farming purpose. Not only this, there are various agricultural opportunities have been observed due to this climate change. Previously, many of the land which is not cultivated in the northern regions like Siberia, Greenland, and Arctic regions that are becoming a bit suitable for the agriculture purpose, and crops which acquire warmer climates like grapes for wine production may be expanded to the new regions. So these agricultural opportunities can be obtained through the climate change. In another sector, we can see reduced winter-related deaths. If we see health point of view, physical health aspect, milder winters, mostly in climate, mostly extreme lower temperatures, can reduce deaths from extreme colds. That is basically known as hypothermia. Less need of heating energy in winter can lead to the lower fuel consumption. That may lead to the loop mechanism where in order to lower down the global warming. Various other aspects like expansion of Arctic shipping routes, potential increases in the biodiversity of the some areas can be observed through the climate change. There are various economic benefits for the various industries also due to the climate change. For example, tourism in colder regions may be enhanced. Renewable energy potential like solar power in polar regions could increase due to the longer summers and more sunlight. Even increased rainfall in some of the dry region can benefit a lot these drier region, mostly the semi-arid and arid areas. Like it may bring more rainfall to the arid regions, improving water availability for farming and drinking purposes. Overall, it can be said that while some of the localized benefits of climate change exist, they are short-term and region-specific. And the overall consequences, if we see like rising sea levels, extreme weather events, biodiversity loss, food insecurity problems, and outweighs the positive effects. So that's why it is having more negative effects if we compare it from the positive effects.
Any other questions? Any queries you can ask? You can write your query in the chat box.
Let's talk about some of the recent developments in climate change, particularly climate change science. Climate change research is continuously evolving day by day. Various researchers are coming and it is offering very deeper insights into the Earth's changing climate system. For example, if we see the accelerated climate impacts, we are seeing faster than expected changes. Recent evidence indicates that global warming and its associated impacts are really revealing more rapidly than previously it is what it was anticipated. Not only this, natural methane emissions, if we see warming temperatures are increasing, natural methane emissions are intensifying, the urgency of rapid reduction in emissions are the need of the hour. If we see emerging research themes is climate science like Arctic carbon balance, which is becoming day by day a very important. And various studies have revealed that the shifting carbon balance in the Arctic region with the thawing of the permafrost, which is releasing the greenhouse gases, and that is accelerating global warming. So more researchers are needed in this discipline. Secondly, we are also observing climate change and security problem. The intersection of climate change and peace building is gaining attention day by day, exploring how environmental changes are influencing global security and dynamics. So these are the things that is to be seen in the that needs to be delve into the for the recent developments in the climate change. Overall, the calls for the enhanced climate action is also the need of the hour. For example, uh, United in Science report, which emphasizes the undercurrent policies, there are significant likelihood of global warming, which may reach up to 300 degrees centigrade this centuries. Means it may reduce, for example, it may wipe out overall coral reefs, it may reduce the habitat of the mammals, underscoring the need for immediate and transformative actions to curb these emissions.
Now let us talk about some of the mitigation strategies of climate change. Um, as we all know that it's taking place at an abundant rate, so there is an urgent need to mitigate it. So renewable energy adoption is one of the most important strategy that we can adopt, like expanding solar panel installation for electricity generation, increasing offshore and onshore wind farms, developing sustainable hydroelectric projects. So all these renewable energy adoption can be adopted to mitigate it. Also, energy efficiency improvement we can do, like using energy efficient materials and smart technologies in green buildings, promoting LED lighting, energy efficient refrigerators and ACs. So these all can reduce the destructive effects of climate change. Also the industrial efficiency, like we can implement better technologies in manufacturing and production. Carbon capture and storage, capturing carbon dioxide emission from power plant and industries and storing them underground. So these all we can do. Sustainable transportation, like nowadays electric vehicles are getting famous, and also the charging infrastructure, expanding public transport, and alternative fuels usage like hydrogen and biofuels. So these all should be adopted to mitigate it. Few peoples have started to adopt it in foreign countries mainly, and in India, in fewer states, it's there. But at global level, no, it's not getting, it should be spreaded to each and every person, and it should be adopted to global level to mitigate it thoroughly. Reforestation and afforestation, like planting trees to absorb carbon dioxide and restoring ecosystems. Climate smart agriculture, like promoting organic farmers, sustainable soil management. So these all can reduce the negative effects which climate change are having. Like sustainable urban development is also there. Nowadays, there are planning engineers, planning managers who are designing the houses. So they can design it in eco-friendly cities with green spaces and efficient public transport. So these all can reduce the negative effect, like using green roofs and urban forests, rainwater harvesting, and smart water management system. So these all can be used. Also, the technological innovations like fusion energy, hydrogen fuel technology, bioengineering solutions. These all can be adopted. So, mitigation will not occur only by a single person. Like if a single person is doing all these things, then of course the mitigation will not take place. Mitigation of climate change requires global cooperation, strong policies, and technological advancement. Also, the government, businesses, and individuals must work together to reduce emission, adopt clean energy, and promote sustainability for a healthier planet. Yeah. So thank you. So as I can see that the all queries have been answered and it has ended now. So let's end this meeting here. Thank you, everyone.